Hi, this is John Doherty. This is my project for my senior project design class, which is EE 458 for Professor Chandra. And it is called the EPCNS, which is the External Hard Drive Personal Cloud Network Service. Now, what I've done is for demo purposes, I have tilted this box sideways so that way you could see both monitors, which includes the Raspberry Pi and also the my laptop, which I have everything set up here. So currently, just kind of give you a rundown of the hardware. This is an LCD touchscreen, which is already booted up now. And in the back of this, there's a plastic casing, as you can see. Plastic casing holds the actual Raspberry Pi 3 Model B. I chose that one because of some of the capabilities of having Bluetooth and a couple other things too. And plus, it has better Wi-Fi capabilities, which more likely I won't be using. But for this demo purposes, I'm going to be using Wi-Fi for this, but most of the time when this will be used, it will be directly connected to my router. Because Wi-Fi has a lot of vulnerabilities. Inside the box, you can see there is the Western Digital hard drive, which is 1 terabyte. That's for all the cloud storage that I'll be putting on there. Now, normally these can be powered by a computer, basically, which is what a Raspberry Pi is almost. But for wear and tear, I chose to hook my hard drive to this powered hub. So, and it has basically 7 ports on there of USB ports on there. So I can actually put in 6 more of these hard drives if I choose to, if I want more cloud storage for myself. And the plug was simply just one extension cord that I had around the house, and both of them are plugged into it, which is the Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi powers the actual screen itself, and of course the hub is plugged in as well. So that's a breakdown of the hardware inside there. Now, for the demo purposes, what I'll be doing is showing you how I can log into this system now. First thing that I do is I go and log into the Raspberry Pi through SSH. And the reason why I do that is because it gives me a lot of capabilities to shut the system down if I feel that someone is trying to break in, which I don't want that, obviously. Now this is going to be a two-step password process. First is asking me for my password for my laptop, and now as you can see, it's gone into the Raspberry Pi, but now it's asking for a password for the Raspberry Pi, which I'm going to put in right now. Okay, so we should see that it logs in. As you can see, it is. So from there, I can I'm basically, as I'm monitoring, if I'm transferring files over or transferring anything over into this system, I have Wireshark up and running, so I can keep an eye on any specific traffic that I see that somebody may be trying to get into my network. I can simply just shut my Pi down right from here by typing in the terminal there sudo shutdown -H, which will shut it down fairly immediately. Now, to transfer files over, I'm using a program called CyberDuck. CyberDuck is very, very useful, actually. So I'm going to type in the actual IP address of my Raspberry Pi. Okay, I'm also going to be using port 22. There are several other ports that I can use if I choose to. My username for now is just Pi. And then of course, again, my password. So there's a lot of passwords, as you can see, that's required. Okay. And I believe also we want, oops. Okay. So what I want is the SSH file transfer protocol. So I have everything in there, the password, the username is there, the URL, and the server, which is the IP address of the Pi itself. So I'm going to go ahead and connect. And there it is. So anything that might be on my desktop, we go here. It might be a little hard to see because it looks like the light is a little bit. You see I have a couple files already there. If I go on to my desktop, there they are right there. So now I can transfer files. So in order to do that, I'm going to use a program called Encrypto. So before I decide just go ahead and put a file over, I'm going to go ahead and encrypt it. These are basically the CyberDuck and Encrypto are completely free software, which is a great thing. So let's say if I wanted to transfer a file over here, we'll just use a lab that I did at school. I'm going to put it inside here. I'm going to go ahead and encrypt it with a password. I'm just going to use just a simple password for this purposes here. And I'm going to encrypt it. This uses AE3 256, so it's very, very good for security purposes. And so now I can take that file, and if I choose to, I'm going to go ahead and put it in. I'll just put it on my desktop. So I'm just going to take this and drag it right on my desktop. As you can see, this says the file upload is complete. And if we look on the Raspberry Pi, there it is. So at this point, if I notice that someone has basically is trying to get into my system, I can quickly just shut this off here. And again, I can type in sudo shutdown -H, and it takes it about 30 seconds for it to shut down. As you can see, it's exactly what it says. Shutdown scheduled for Wednesday for, I think it's like a minute actually what it takes to shut it down. So that's very handy, obviously, for security purposes. So if I'm out somewhere and I do not want to leave my Raspberry Pi open, okay, so it says completed there. As we watch, it should shut right down in a second. But this is very very convenient, very handy. So that way, it's not the Raspberry Pi won't always be on all the time. I can shut it down anytime I want. If I'm not going to use it, and then when I come back home, if I think I'm going to be using it again when I'm out somewhere, then I will turn it back on, and again I can remotely shut it off, and there it goes. So it's just shut off. So as you can see through the demo, I have completed everything that I was hoping to do. And in the PowerPoint presentation, we'll talk about why I chose the Raspbian operating system instead of the Ubuntu Mate The Ubuntu Mate had too many features. When you have an operating system that has a whole lot of features, well, that can also be a whole lot of vulnerabilities as well. I wanted to keep it very simple, keep it very safe, and because this is strictly all it's going to be doing is just storing anything that I want to store in there. As you can see, it's very simple, very quick, very safe, very high security by encrypting all the files, by using, there's several passwords that we have to use to get through it all. But as you can see, if I have my computer open here, it only takes me just less than a minute to transfer a file right into there if I choose to, and pretty easy. So that is my project, and if you have, of course, any questions, please message me any questions that you may have. And again, my PowerPoint will talk about some of the successes, some of the failures, any errors that came up, testing, which wasn't a whole lot of testing done. Mostly I did all the testing, and also a family member helped me too as well with that. So thank you, and I really enjoyed this class, and I enjoyed doing this project. It gave me a lot of insight on how to build a cloud service actually. Thank you.